joining us tonight. I'm Lindsey Brown. Kevin has the night off. Donald Trump has officially been sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. He returned to power this afternoon with a promise to end America's decline and to, quote, completely and totally reverse the actions of President Biden. He's already signing executive actions with many more on the way. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar played a big role in today's ceremonies. She kicked off the inaugural ceremony and traveled with both Trump and Biden to the inauguration. Other Minnesotans were in attendance today, including a key Trump ally. Chief political reporter Tom Hauser spoke with Majority Whip Tom Emmer and joins us now with what's next for the Trump administration.
Lindsey, Republican Congressman Tom Emmer is a major supporter of President Trump despite past differences. We'll hear from him in a moment. But first, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar opposes most Trump policies, but today found herself in a key role at many inaugural events in a nonpartisan role. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar witnessed history from the front row as chair of the bipartisan inaugural committee. She rode in the presidential limo with outgoing President Joe Biden and incoming President Donald Trump, and delivered a short speech to kick off the swearing-in ceremony inside the U.S. Capitol, talking about leadership and bipartisanship.
With that responsibility of leadership comes an obligation to stand our ground when we must and find common ground when we can.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will.
Minutes later, Donald Trump was inaugurated as president for a second time, with outgoing President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, whom Trump defeated in November, looking on from just a few feet away. And then Trump promising to undo much of what Biden and Harris did the last 4 years.
The golden age of America begins right now.
The president painting a dark portrait of America under Joe Biden.
We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens.
One step President Trump says he's taking to protect Americans is declaring a national emergency on the southern border while cracking down on illegal immigrants. Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer attended the inaugural events and said voters elected Trump to do what he's doing.
If you're here illegally, you should not be here. I know that we're going to hear all these arguments about labor force, everything else. Tom, we have immigration laws for a reason.
Now, Emmer also criticized former President Biden for issuing pardons to Anthony Fauci, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, and several others to keep the Trump administration from prosecuting them. However, he defended Trump's decision to pardon or commute the sentences of many of those involved in the January 6th riot. Trump is likely to issue up to 200 executive orders or actions his first week in office. As you saw just before this newscast, he's already signed the first several of those orders. Lindsey?
That's right. He signed them right in front of us, and the celebrations continue in D.C. Thank you for that, Tom Hauser.